So you got yourself a Breville Dual Boiler or any semi-auto and you're wondering what the heck am I supposed to do when it comes to cleaning? Because there's a lot of things to clean. Actually, initially, I got myself a super auto because I didn't want to deal with all the cleaning. But guess what? You actually have to clean a super auto quite a bit. Once you figure out what you're cleaning and why, this becomes a lot easier. And like anything, like any of your machines and your gadgets and your gizmos, the more you maintain it periodically, the better it will run, the longer it will run, the cleaner tasting it'll run. Just take care of your baby. I'm gonna show you it's not that complicated. This is gonna be a guideline. You should follow any recommendations that the manufacturer has in the manuals. They usually have some sort of guideline. And if you go online, you're gonna see that many different people have many different systems that work for them or have recommendations. Some people clean it more, some people clean it less, some people are more thorough. Find what works for you. I'm gonna show you what I do for my cleaning that works for me, and you can see if that works for you and adapt it or not. This is just meant as a guideline and not a set in stone system, because I don't think you can have such a thing in Espresso. It just seems like everyone's got their own opinions and systems. With all that in mind, let's get into it. So on a daily basis, or rather every time you use your espresso machine, you're gonna knock your puck out. Usually do that pretty much right after you finish making your cup. And it's happened before where I've forgotten it. There's actually one of my videos that in the middle of review, I pulled it out and was like, whoops, I forgot the cup from the morning. So don't do that. Don't make that mistake that I made. I know it's very tempting to drink that cup of coffee and walk away from your machine, which I happen to do once in a while. Make it a habit to empty out that puck and then give it a rinse right away, the portafilter. And if you know that you're done making coffee for the day, put in your blank disc, or if you have a blind basket, you put that and you do a clear water back flushing. If you have a espresso machine with a 3-way solenoid valve, which releases the pressure, there's different methods on the clear water back flushing, so it's up to you to figure out if you want to run the cycle a few times. Long press one of the 1 or 2 cups, so it goes to full pressure right away. And then I see the bar go up, and then I leave it for about a second, release it. You'll hear the water go through. Maybe I'll do it a second time. Phil from Sage/Breville had a wiggle technique that I was doing at some point. I was doing a lot more before, and now I do 1 or twice a clear water back flush, then open up the portafilter, empty out your water, and remove the blank disc. Give it another rinse if you want real quick, and that's it. If you were steaming milk, purge your wand after every use and give it a clean too, because that milk will cake on otherwise. A moist towel and clean off the wand, including the tip, because you might just clean off around and not the tip. But you can always do a soak with Kafiza at a later point, which I'll get into. That's for daily cleaning. Now on a weekly basis or bi-weekly, sometimes I do this every 2 weeks, sometimes I do it when I remember. You do a soak with Kafiza powder. This stuff, little goes a long way. This will last you a very long time. I'll link this down below. It's really inexpensive. This is your best friend for cleaning your espresso machine. You're gonna wanna soak a couple of your coffee items, because coffee and the oils, it starts to accumulate a little bit and gunk all of the pieces that it touches. You wanna soak your basket, your portafilter. So if you have a double spouted portafilter, you'll probably need a bit more Kafiza powder as well as water in it to dilute it, because you'll want to put the basket as well as the entire portafilter inside of there to clean out all of the gunk in here and on the double spouts. If you have a bottomless portafilter, unlikely that you'll have to dunk the entire bottomless portafilter. I mentioned this in my portafilter review, this one actually, that you can be a bit more economical because you don't technically need to soak this piece, as it is a bottomless portafilter, and the only part you really need to soak is the basket itself. So that's the difference. 3 grams for 500 milliliters. And what I do is I use hot water. I have my beautiful Zoshiroshi hot water dispenser, so I get hot water instantly because I'm impatient. We'll do a review of that product as well at some point. So you want to be soaking your basket, possibly your portafilter, and also removing your shower screen and soaking that as well to give it a good clean. You leave it for 30 minutes or so. Let it do its magic. You want to remove that gunk obviously so that your machine can continue running well and so the coffee can continue going through really well. You really don't want to be creating more possibilities for channeling and problems because espresso will do that all on its own. Make your life easier, keep it clean. On a monthly basis, once again, check with your manufacturing and see what they suggest. Every 200 shots, which boils down to approximately every 2 months, but that really depends on how much coffee you're making, how many times a day. You'll want to do chemical back flushing, or I think they just call it back flushing, and that is with Kafiza powder. Sometimes your manufacturer, in the case of my Breville Dual Boiler, it came in little tablet. They do sell those tablets online as well, but they're more expensive than this, and it's the same thing. Just do yourself a favor and grab this. You do that as well with a blind basket or the blank disc like I showed you earlier. There is a little instruction guide on the back of the Kafiza powder bottle that tells you how to back flush your machine. Different machines have different ways of doing this. On the Breville Dual Boiler, since it's such a simple prosumer type of machine, it will prompt me when I need to back flush it. And it'll say, clean me. And then I just put in the powder in the blind basket and then I run the machine and it does its magic. It just keeps going through the entire machine and just cleaning it out, and you'll hear it running. The other thing that you should do, and this is something that I have not done yet, I initially wanted to wait to make this video until that moment came, but it's been almost 6 months I've had the machine and I haven't yet to get a D-scale, but at some point, every 3 months or so, or well, it's been more than 3 months for me. It depends on the water hardness. My water's not hard and I had the water filter in there. I'll also link this below. You would get something like this to descale. It's called descal, and it's a descaler, as it says right here. This will help with removing the limescale calcium deposit. You definitely want to do that. You want to keep it clean, but the best cleaning that you can do or best maintenance is just prevention. Get some sort of water filtration system and put softer water in your espresso machine right off the bat so that you avoid using this chemical. It's just better for your machine. It's just, like I said, prevention is always better, right? Like in anything in life. I can't think of a scenario where that doesn't apply. Like health, safety, cleaning your espresso machine. The 3 things. Other little things that you should clean is in no particular order and in no particular time frame. This is something I do regularly. I don't schedule it in any way. I just do it periodically. Is emptying the drip tray. You want to do that maybe every 2 to 3 days. I do it before the little clean me tab comes out. About every 2 days, I'll empty it out and give it a clean. If empty out the water and I see it's a bit gunky in there because there's a lot, like some espresso powder, and I don't want that to cake on, then I'll give it a clean with my sponge and some soap and then let it dry and then put it back. So that's something that you should do regularly. I don't think about it, like I said, I don't schedule it. Other things that you should clean once in a while is your water tank reservoir as well, because it could start to get a bit gross. Some algae can start forming, so you might want to keep that clean because it's pretty gross, especially if your espresso machine is somewhere that's more exposed to sun. I assume that that would happen quicker. You'll want to do that maybe every few weeks or I'm not sure. It really depends on your situation. I probably don't clean mine as often as I should. Use a soft sponge. Be gentle in there. You don't need to go rigorously. Every now and then I'll also clean the rubber gaskets. Sometimes I'll throw it into my bi-weekly soaks with the Kafiza powder, with the shower screen and the basket. I haven't seen it degrade. It's been fine so far. I have a replacement rubber gasket ready to go as well. So this is my replacement rubber gasket. The shower screen goes there. This gets a little bit dirty sometimes. It's a little bit less necessary, I find, because it's just acting as a seal to get your portafilter nice and tight. It's just a nice to do maintenance, but I don't think it's necessary, especially if you're gonna be replacing this, let's say yearly. What I do sometimes is I use my Palo brush and I will sometimes clean under there to clean the gasket when I'm doing my bi-weekly soaks, and I'll just dunk this tip and then brush it out and clean it and then let the water run. That's just the system that works for me. And a little tip, if you want to make this a bit simpler for you and you don't want to think so much, make your life easier and optimize things. You can add it to your calendar, your digital calendar, or your physical calendar if you prefer agendas and bullet journaling. But in a digital calendar, you can set it to repeat every week, every month, every 2 weeks, set on this day, whatever works for you. Or maybe have a little sheet next to your espresso machine that you can tick off, or a printed paper that you make yourself that you can just tick it as you go along, or set it like on the 15th of the month, I'm gonna do this and this. That's just a tip. If you find this difficult to keep track of, rewatch the video, take note of what I am doing on all of the different time frames, and then add that to your calendar. So I hope that helped you, and happy cleaning. Like if this video helped you. It'll help other people as well, I'm sure. Comment below. Actually, I'm curious to see what other people's cleaning schedule is like, or what's worked for them or not. Don't think I forgot anything. I hope I didn't. Share it with all of your other coffee buddies, because you probably have other coffee buddies, let's be real. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification so you can see my lovely face when I upload a new video. And I will see you again. Yeah, I'll see you again, right? Because you're sticking around, right? You're not just gonna watch this video and then never come back, because that might hurt me a little bit, but I understand. Okay, bye.